custom and tailored services designed to suit your exact needs. Every one of our professionals have acquired years of experience, which ensures you get the very best. Our experienced staff is waiting to hear from you and to answer any specific questions that you may have on how we can meet your needs. Just ask for a consultation and let us prove our commitment to you as we promise to maintain the highest level of quality and commitment. Your satisfaction is our prime concern. So please, don't hesitate to get in contact with us and let us show you all the great options we have.
And we are the Coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn free, civilly disobedient media broadcasting live on the worldwide Coalition Radio Network, coalitionradionetwork.com, facebook.com/the Coalition Radio, on the mighty, mighty Twitter, at Coalition_radio, and of course, the new broadcast home of our network at CoalitionRadioNetwork.com, where we already have multiple shows up of our political content, our golf content, and of course, our small business content. Well, it's a special Thursday night here. We've finally gotten a taste of summer. We are finally, as a state of Rhode Island, we've been to a degree released. We all must keep in the back of our minds some of the limitations that we need to set for ourselves, for our own personal comfort. But at the same time, it's almost June. It's almost summertime for real. Joining me, as they always do on Thursday nights now at 7:30, are the fine folks from Golf News RI, Joe Calabro, Rich Capelli. Guys, welcome back to the show. Two dudes talking about golf. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Pat, thanks for having us. We're doing great. Sorry that I look like crap. It's tough to get a haircut these days.
There you go. Well, let's get right into it.
I'm looking a little svelte right now.
Let's get right into it. We got a lot going on in the world of golf this week, particularly in Rhode Island. The lead story, with the COVID-19 crisis surrounding us and a lot of conversation being had about the state of business in general, and of course a lot of conversation about the state of golf in general. It's no surprise that the rumor mill is going to be in full flight. Folks are going to pick up on a little tip. They're going to blow it up. What happened this week in the world of golf?
So it was quite a story. So late Monday night, relatively late, I was told that Valley Country Club, which is located in Warwick, it's a private club, 18-hole course, that I was told that Valley was sold to they sold for development, and I was told by one of the people inside golf, and they connected me with the source, who was a former employee at Valley, and he validated all the information. He validated the whole thing. It was going to be sold for development of condos and a wind farm, and that their last day was going to be July 10th. So I said, holy crap. So of course, this was the one night that I didn't bring my laptop to my girlfriend's house. So go figure on that. But thankfully I have an app on my phone that I can write the articles and post them. So I started doing the thing on my phone, got a picture, put the whole thing together basically. And then I said, okay, I have one who we thought was a legitimate source. And again, this was a former employee. He was a high ranking employee there. I don't want to give his name away because quite frankly, he doesn't deserve to have his name out there. But anyways, so I put the whole thing together. So then I called Rich. It was late at night. I said, this is what I've got. Have you heard anything about this? Do you know anybody that's heard about this at all? And we both started doing research real quickly. I started texting all kinds of people. Again, this is like 10:15, 10:30 at night. I texted pros that I know.
I refuse to believe the rumor. It was insane.
Texted people in the golf community that I know, and no one that I talked to had heard anything like this. I said, okay, this, and to me as a writer, as a journalist, something just didn't feel right. It's just something felt wrong about this story. It just didn't make sense. How could nobody not know of something like this? This is not like a small deal. This would be a huge deal. So I said, okay, we're going to hold on to the story until Tuesday, which obviously we did. So I held the story until Tuesday, sent texts overnight, sent messages overnight. Then Tuesday morning, we got to confirm. I talked to people at Valley. I got to confirm that that was a complete rumor. The whole thing was false, and that Valley was not sold, and that they were trying to track down the rumor because Tuesday morning, this rumor had become so viral, I guess, because of the original source of it, that Valley was trying to do like damage control with their membership. So I said, okay. So I put up an article mid-morning-ish saying that the rumor that Valley was sold is false. The article blew up on our website. We got comments actually from the general manager at Valley, and I'm assuming one other Valley member, as well as many other people via email, thanking us for putting up that article and thanking us for dispelling that false rumor. Because like I said, by Tuesday morning, Valley was trying to do damage control of sorts with their own membership. And later in the afternoon, we didn't post it because but Valley sent out a letter to their membership saying the club was not sold. There haven't even been any offers, and we have no intentions to sell it. At least So the whole thing was false. The whole rumor was false, and so I was happy with the way that we handled it. We did our due diligence because a story like that, again, the original source, we treated it as more than a rumor. I treated it as more than a rumor. And so I'm happy with the way we handled it. We did our due diligence, talked to, I don't know how many texts I sent at 10:30 at night. People probably were annoyed with me. But that's what you have to do. So, yeah, it was kind of crazy. The whole thing was false. And there's some other parts to it as well. But I guess the employee was fired by Valley. And I guess they didn't have a very good breakup, from what I'm told. But I don't want to speak on that too much because I'm not 100% sure. So the bottom line is the whole thing was false, but I'm happy with how we handled it as a news organization and as writers, or as a writer for me. And then we kind of went from there. But that could have been a disaster.
Well, tell us a little bit about Valley as a course. Let's give them some positive props. First of all, is it privately owned or is it a public course?
It's public equity.
Tell me more about that concept, a public equity course.
So the public equity it means that the golfers, the private membership owns the course. I'm not sure what the percentage is of that, but there's a few courses in the state like that. I don't know off the top of my heads which one. Valley is definitely one of those because I don't want to give them bad pub, but they had some financial troubles probably about, I don't know, like 7-8 years ago, and now it's like a publicly traded company kind of thing. The members have the say in a lot of the decisions.
Excellent. And tell us about the course itself. I mean, I've never been there. I'm sure a lot of people would like to find out more about it. Give them a little bit of love, if you will, in the next week or two, and show up and play some extra tee times there.
That's what I'm saying. So I've actually never played Valley. That's one of the courses I haven't played in Rhode Island, and I'm 36 years old. I've been to a bunch of weddings there. I've actually visually seen it. It's pristine, especially the video that Joel put up. The course is pristine. Greens are really, really, really super hard. Unfortunately, I haven't played there. Give it a little plug, a little nudge to the Valley staff over there. Maybe get me and Joe on there. But
look at this guy.
But yeah, no, visually it's great. The wedding, the clubhouse, fantastic, great wedding venue, overlooks the course. They have their weddings on the I think it's the 10th tee, overlooking the whole property. Really, really, really nice course. That's why I was so surprised when Joe texted me the rumor. I was like, I refuse to believe this because Valley's one of the top tier private courses in Rhode Island.
Right. So I mean, it's
and Pat.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to add that they like Rich said, they had financial troubles a bunch of years ago. The members saved it, and then they've since kind of redid the clubhouse. They fixed it up. They've hosted state tournaments there. They've hosted New England tournaments there. I mean, it's a legitimate course. I mean, it's one of the top, like Rich said, one of the top courses in the state. So it was a surprise to me. But again,
has their scramble there too.
Yeah. So it was.
Is this a persistent fear amongst many? I mean, I would imagine this is sort of like gasoline on the fire right now, given the financial state of the state. It's everywhere people are looking at each other, wondering, how do we do business in this new environment? Do we invest in companies? Do we do work for them and with anticipation of getting paid? I mean, that's where all these rumors take on a life of their own. And Rhode Island, as we all know, and I say this with love and affection, there are no degrees of separation. So inevitably, if a vendor is, let's just say, kicked off a course, or it just like a check gets quote unquote lost in the mail, or someone's a couple of days late, all we need to do in Rhode Island to get a good rumor going is to someone mention casually at one of our many fine watering holes here in Rhode Island that in fact so and so is having cash flow problems, and within an hour, I saw bulldozers up on the green yesterday, and laying foundations for homes. That's and part of that may be too as a result of what's happened with a certain XPGO putting whiz. Does that legacy continue to have sort of a hangover on Rhode Island?
I think it could, yeah. And specifically with Valley, I think a concern was that given the coronavirus crisis, and they even said it again in their letter to membership, which I actually got a copy of, but I didn't put up out of respect for Valley. There was no reason to put that up. But anyway, but in their letter to membership, they said that given the circumstances surrounding the coronavirus, even though golf has been open in Rhode Island straight through, but they said given the circumstances, this rumor really could have hurt them, and that's why they were literally trying to do damage control on Tuesday morning. That's the biggest reason why I put that article up, because just to clarify, because apparently, and I wasn't aware of this at the time on Monday night, apparently the rumor had kind of gone viral. If something can go viral in Rhode Island, I guess it had become a real thing, and people were really nervous. So that's why I put that article up. And with the Metacomet thing, this would have been the second private course within what, Rich, like 3 or 4 months or something to be sold. And both those courses are like would be devastating blows. Well, Metacomet's already a devastating blow, but this would have been even more devastating. So they said themselves, they said that with the coronavirus crisis and everything else going on, that rumor really could have hurt them. And it seems like they're going to be fine, and everything's good. They know where the rumor came from. They knew it immediately because they know the history. So.
Well, let me jump in with a question here. What if and again, I'm not familiar with the structure. Anytime I've played, it's either at a private court and been a guest, a soon-to-be embarrassed guest at a guest, if you will, of the local club. Boy, do they regret that one. And so I've played less expensive public courses. If you belong to a private club, and obviously I'm sure there's wide disparities. What type of money are you, quote unquote, investing into some of these clubs to join them? I mean, we all have. If you're like me, a kid from Jersey, I was born in Elizabeth, New Jersey. 2 sports reflections. Number one, we didn't play hockey because the water literally catches on fire. And number 2, when a local golf course suspiciously smells like a Superfund site, you're not one to spend a lot of time there. So, I come here to the verdant hills, the green, lush valleys of Rhode Island, and I'm blown away by all this beautiful nature. What kind of skadol, what kind of do-re-mi you got to put down to Bushwick or Bushwood or whatever to get joined. Right, particularly if you're someone like me.
Let me talk real quick, Joe, for a second. So I think a lot of the problems. I don't mean to name courses, but there's a couple courses in Rhode Island. The way of private membership is kind of, I don't want to say going by the wayside, but a lot of people don't have time for a lot of these activities, except for places like Kirkbrae, Wannamoyset, stuff like that. Places that have family stuff like pools, tennis courts, a great restaurant, stuff like that. The extras. A lot of some of these private clubs, like I can't even remember a couple of them. The way of the private life is kind of going down a little bit. A lot of the 9-hole courses are profiting from people just not having enough time. People want to spend time with their kids on a Sunday. They go out, they play 9 holes, come home, spend time with the wife and the kid. They don't either A, have the money, or B, have the time to actually invest that time in a private course, if you can kind of get what I'm saying. And I'll turn it over to Joe because he's actually a member of a private course that I visited more than I'd like to say. He can give you a little more insight onto the X's and O's of actually what a private membership entails.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to give out number figures because I don't want to, speak out of school, and everyone's course is different. Everyone's club, the money's different everywhere. It depends on what you have. But the key is for these private courses, and this is one of the issues with Metacomet, and why they've been struggling. The key is for these courses, and including my course at Kirkray, is you don't have to sell the golfer, right? That's easy. You have to sell the rest of the family. You have to sell the wife, the girlfriend, the kids, whatever it may be. That's the key. So all these courses have various types of memberships: family memberships, social memberships, junior memberships for kids, business memberships, corporate memberships for big time companies. So the memberships vary, and they can be, several $1,000s at least, and sometimes more depending on where you are. But it varies. And like I said, the golf is just part of it. The key for these clubs, like I said, is to sell the family, sell the kids, and if they do that, that's kind of how you have to recruit members nowadays. Metacomet's issue is they really don't have any of those amenities, and that's
it's all old money.
Old
money,
and so that's kind of has been their issue. And Faxon was supposed to try to fix it, and he decided to stop after 1 year. But yeah, that's kind of how private courses work. And I don't want to just throw out random number figures because that's not really fair, and I don't want to say the wrong things. But they can be expensive. But again, you have to look at what you get for that membership and what the course can provide or what the club can provide. So that's kind of
absolutely
that's kind of how private clubs go.
Are you seeing any of the current clubs that are course only adding amenities, or is it just so expensive at this point in time that you really can't consider it?
I don't think that I off the top of my head, I don't think that there's many private courses that don't have amenities. Metacomet's one of them, but off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the private courses in Rhode Island have amenities, i.e., tennis courts, a gym, pool for the family. I off the top of my head, I don't really know, besides Metacomet, which i.e. was unfortunately their downfall, because it's a great course. I can't think of off the top of my head any private courses that don't have those amenities.
What would you guys?
I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I think like Rich said, I think, as I was trying to think too, I think most courses have some sort of amenities. They all vary. We talked last week.
Grab fact.
Yeah, so we talked last week, Rich and I, about, I think, like Agawam Hunt was offering a 3-month trial membership. Warwick was offering, Rich, was it 10% discount? I forgot what it even was.
But I don't even know what the number was. I can't even remember what the number was. They were offering an incentive for new members that I was told were like real incentives. It wasn't a discount, it was incentives. Harbor Lights was offering a 10% discount. Harbor Lights is a 9-hole course. It's supposed to be really nice. I've never been there in Warwick. So a lot of these courses have amenities. They have the restaurants. They have pools or gyms or both. Some even have tennis courts, depending on where you go. Most of these courses have amenities. Now they're just trying to get members, though. But again, it's money. Obviously, right now we're in a tough time. But just generally speaking, they're trying to get members. So they're trying to sell those things. And I know Wannamoisett, they have a pool area that's relatively new. I'm not saying that it's brand new, but within the last 10, 12 years or so, they put in a pool that's new, and I think they have tennis. I believe they have tennis courts as well. But they have tennis,
yeah. So most courses are trying to upgrade, I keep saying courses, clubs. Most clubs are trying to upgrade as best they can to accommodate the families, the kids, everything else. So to close your point, Pat, yeah, it's all expensive. I mean, relatively, and the key is these clubs have to have these amenities, or else it's going to be tough for them to keep going. Like I said, it's not just about the golfers. That's easy. Selling Rich and I to play a golf course is pretty easy. But the amenities are what makes you want to join somewhere or not want to join somewhere.
Question. You brought up a great point. You're talking about the amount of time involved in golf and time in people's lives. What do you think the premier 9-hole courses are in the state? Where would you recommend people to join if in fact, say they're commuting in from Boston, 4 or 5 nights a week, and they may not have as much time to play a full round on the weekends as some? What are some of the best 9-hole courses?
So I want Rich to answer this real quick because he's a member of the 9-hole course at King's Crossing. But some of the ones that I would just say are Harbor Lights, which I just mentioned. They were offering the 10% discount. And then Lincoln Country Club, which I think I touched on a couple weeks ago, which is where I really learned how to play the game of golf, really learned how to compete, learned how to, manage my way around a golf course, which I still stink at, but whatever, I try. And so I would say for me, I would say Lincoln Country Club and Harbor Lights, just to give them another plug. But I want Rich to answer this real quick because he's actually a member of the 9-hole course, and he can maybe talk about the experience of it and kind of the benefits of just playing 9 holes, if you will. Go ahead.
So yeah, I belong to King's Crossing Golf Club in North Kingstown. Shout outs to Rob McNeil and Peter Walsh, the head pro over there. It's great. There's no incentive. Quick in and out. It's busy during the holiday and stuff like that. Like last weekend was a tad bit busy. Carts were a little bit jammed up because of the whole single cart rule. But other than that, food's great. He's Peter's got his own little shop set up in there for his FootJoy stuff and Titleist and anything you want to buy. Course is in great shape. Like I said, I played there last Sunday. Course is in great shape. The greens are finally starting to take on water, nice and smooth now. But there's Lewis Quisit's another one up off of Mineral Spring. That they have a bunch of great deals on golf now. I remember I played there last summer with my dad for like $25 for 18 holes. It's a 9-hole course. You got to loop it twice, but great fairways were in great condition. The restaurant, we had food in the restaurant. It was good. Nice in a nice little what's it called? Not a gated community, like a golf condo community kind of. Mm-hmm. Those two are my premier ones. You got Rolling Greens in North Kingstown down the street from my course. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, the unfortunately for the private clubs, the days of country club living is unfortunately going by the wayside, just given the time that people want to spend with their family. Like Joe said, if you're getting a family membership, it's gonna cost you a little bit of change. And then you got what's it called? The restaurant fee. It's usually anywhere from $75 to $100, which is not a lot. But yeah, the days of the private clubs are, unfortunately, most private clubs are going wayside just because of time limits.
Now, Chemawa, have you guys played Chemawa?
I haven't. No.
Not recently, no. But I know that's another 9-hole course. I think Midville is another 9-hole course. I think I played Chemawa before. Yep. I think I played Chemawa before, but not recently, no. But that's another great course to go and learn. A lot of 9-hole courses, at least in my opinion, are great for those just starting out that are just trying to, you go out at 6:00 when there's no one there, and you can be done by 7:30. You can learn, you can practice, try new things, not try new things. So that's why the 9-hole course. Yeah.
Well, if you're just joining us, folks, it's Thursday night at 7:30 plus now. We are, of course, with the two golf dudes from Golf News RI, Joe Calabro and Rich Capelli. We're talking all things golfing here in Rhode Island. And talking, it's a sign of the times. Folks hear a story or a rumor about a business, its potential demise. Perhaps what's going on with the economy and COVID tends to reinforce the potential of the rumor. Word goes out, local business has a potential to be hurt and lose business. Perhaps, for folks who are investing in the club, it's a warning signal if it's not confronted head on. Fortunately, in this case, Joe and Rich were able to determine that, in fact, it was a fraudulent story before they went to press with it. And to their credit, the course owners got ahead of the story and just got right into the public face and said, hey, we're here to stay. We're a valuable part of the Rhode Island golf community, and come on down. And so, to all of these local courses, these are predominantly either owned by local golfers, local families, or owned by local investors. It's important that we support local business in Rhode Island, who somehow managed to do well despite the best efforts of the state we live in. But we're not going to go political. Right, Gina? So,
Let's
a lot more.
Into that.
Yeah, let's not get into that. A lot more is going on. Talk about Cranston Country Club. They did their own thing, if you will, in a week when a lot of schools are graduating their students. A lot of sad, bittersweet feelings because of missed opportunities and what happened as a result of the Corona/COVID crisis. What did Cranston Country Club do?
Yeah, so really cool story. So this week was supposed to be the high school state championships for boys and girls. And it's always at Cranston Country Club. I think it's there every year. I could be wrong, but it's there most years. And so obviously this week the school's out in the fall sports, or spring sports, excuse me, were canceled long ago, it seems like. Obviously those championships weren't going to be played, and especially for the seniors, they lose out on a chance to cap off their high school golf season. A lot of them, some of them play in college, but certainly not all of them. So maybe it's their last chance to play, a competitive golf round for a while, unless obviously you join somewhere or whatever. And so in a really cool, classy move, Cranston Country Club, they put out a heartfelt message. I forget what night I saw it. It might have been Sunday night. I forget what night we posted. We posted so much content this week that I forgot which story went up on which day. So whenever it was, early this week, I think they posted it Sunday night, and then I put it up Monday morning. I'm not even sure. Honestly, I really don't know when I put it up. It's kind of sad. But anyways, they wrote a heartfelt message, just thanking the high school golfers for playing and congratulating them on a great season, or not just a great season, but a great career, great year of school, and so on and so forth. It was really classy. The story exploded on our website, and it was just a really classy move by Cranston Country Club to acknowledge these high school seniors, who some of them, like I said, that was their last chance to win a state championship. That was the last chance to maybe play competitive golf, because not they don't all go play in college, not necessarily from Rhode Island. A couple of them did well, but so it's just an overall classy move by Cranston Country Club to do that, and then the story exploded on our website. So good on them. And I know a lot of places, not necessarily golf courses, but similar sports or similar venues are doing other things as well. This just happened to be golf related, so I put it up, but. Really, really classy move by them. So good on them.
Now, and a sad note, this Brown University has demoted, if you will, their golf program down to club status. Is the economics of golf difficult for universities that might be in the urban core and the urban centers, where they don't have immediate access to a course? Are you aware yet, this is breaking this afternoon, of what may have led to that decision?
I'm not 1,000% sure. Actually, you're the first one to mention it to me. I'm not going to lie, so you just broke news. But I'll look it up. I'll look it up after this. News. Yeah, so I'll look it up after this. But I think college golf is one of the only sports on the cutting board for a lot of these schools. A couple of a month ago, ish. Again, all these days kind of blend into one. I put up so much content that I don't even remember. But like a month ago, there was something where schools, because of the cancellation of sports, schools across the country from the top conferences were petitioning the NCAA to let them basically cut the required number of sports programs. And one of the programs that was going to be cut nationally was golf teams, because it's an easy cut. It's not a required program, because these Division I schools are supposed to be. You're supposed to have a certain number of programs, right? You're supposed to offer a certain number of Division I programs, and so these schools from the Big Five conferences, everyone knows who they are. The ACC, Big East, schools like that. They were petitioning the NCAA to let them cut down on the number of required programs so they can save money. And golf was one of those schools. Now, thankfully, the NCAA stepped up and basically said, you can't do that. We'll give you other breaks. We'll help you out financially in other places, but you can't just cut sports. You just can't cut sports programs. And so I'm not saying that's what happened at Brown. Again, I'll have to look into it, and I will look into it. We'll have a story up tomorrow. It'll probably be either the lead story or the second story. I have a couple other things in the hopper that I have to write. But yeah, so, and in Rhode Island, college golf is big, but it's not humongous, right? Bryant's a decent team. They had a couple good players. URI is decent. Their star player, Christopher Francoeur, was named New England Golfer of the Year earlier last month. So we put a story up about that. But so college golf in Rhode Island is not huge. We have some big name golfers that are playing elsewhere across the country. Like my guy Patrick Welsh, who went to Classical High School, he's going to be a stud. A kid who plays at Notre Dame. I can't. His name escapes me, but he won the Rhode Island State Amateur. Now he's a senior senior at Notre Dame. He plays there. And again, I can't think of his name, so my apologies. I'm sure I'll think of it tonight. Again, I'll look into the Brown story. I was not aware of that. I think we put up like 6 or 7 other articles today about cancellations and doing the PGA stuff. So I will definitely look into that, and we will have a story on it on Golf News Right tomorrow. And I can get back to you with more info. Maybe you can share it on your show tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, whenever you do your next show. Just I don't have to come on. You just do a quick hit and just to update. But I will look into that, and that's unfortunate. But the good news is it's not gone. The program's not gone, and maybe they can kind of build it back up and get back to Division I status over at Brown University. But that's too bad.
Now speaking of status, where is right now the state of Massachusetts with its golf courses? Have they finally made the cut, if you will, for lack of a better sports joke, or are they still in the dark?
Rich, you want to go? Or
yeah, as far as I know, everything's up and running. For some reason, Mass has been at the tail end of everything. Say what you want about the state of Rhode Island, but we're on the fast track to opening up a lot of things. And we talk about golf, obviously, and golf wasn't one of those things. I mean, we got screwed out of carts for what, three or 4 weeks. No big deal, but we never actually lost our ability to play. And I don't know if Joe put up the article or I saw another article that said they're trying to Mass Golf is trying to deem golf a essential sport or essential necessity in Massachusetts.
Business, yeah.
Business, sorry. Yes, yeah.
No worries.
But yeah, Mass is up and running. Knock on wood. Everything's available. I think their restaurants might be takeout only. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I mean, everything's up and running. Carts, nobody has to drag ass, sweating through the heat now, like I was and Joe was back like a month ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right,
so
cool.
Pat, real quick to add to that, because I actually have second story that kind of ties into that. So, like Rich mentioned, and we did report it. I think I had it this morning because Mass Golf put out a statement late last night. I don't understand why these organizations put out statements late at night, but that's another story. So they put out a statement late last night. I put up this morning. Like Rich said, they're trying to get the golf industry in Massachusetts to be deemed essential because they're starting their season. They're starting their tournament season, whatever it may be. They still have a bunch of restrictions. They're pretty much behind every other state in the Northeast when it comes to restrictions, including New York, who's been hit the hardest by the coronavirus.
That's not even golf stuff. That's regular stuff too.
Right, and if you look at the article, there's actually a chart that shows Massachusetts golf restrictions compared to everybody else, and they are in fact behind everybody. So in relation to that, the New England PGA announced today that they're opening their tournament season on June 8th. Now, New England PGA, they take care of all the professional golfers, club professionals, not like the Brad Faxons of the world, but the club professionals across the Northeast. So they're opening their tournament season on June 8th. Again, these are professionals only tournaments, but tournaments nonetheless. And due to the fact that Massachusetts is behind on restrictions and that won't let them host tournaments in Massachusetts, the first 4 tournaments of the New England PGA are actually going to be held in Rhode Island. The first one's going to be, like I said, June 8th at Newport National. There's another one at Kirkbride. There's another one at Wanamatanami. And I can't think of where the 4th one is off the top of my head. But nonetheless, the first 4 NEPGA tournaments are going to be held in Rhode Island. And that just ties into the Mass Golf thing. So I just wanted to throw that in real quick on that. But yes.
Yeah, good story on that.
That's great news because ultimately that's a much needed cash infusion and cash injection into a business that's been beleaguered all spring and has its own economic challenges. I mean, ultimately, what this state needs is to find ways to bring people into the state to spend money. And in golf, it's if these beneficiaries, if you will, of these extra tournaments can reinvest that money into marketing and support and into programs, then that only bodes well for the game going forward. A bunch of as things reopen and things start to expand, you noticed a bunch of things that are additional services, if you will, that are being offered at some of the clubs. I think you're talking about Richmond, Harbor Lights, Gloucester. What's happening at some of these other courses?
So, like restaurants across the country, not across the country necessarily, across the state is what I meant to say. A lot of golf courses or a lot of golf clubs are opening for takeout services and also dine-out services. Obviously, you can sit outside and eat, and so we try to keep up with that. I try to keep up with that as far as which restaurants you can go to or which clubs you can go to, which clubs are doing takeout. I know Harbor Lights is open for dine-out this week. I know. So we try to keep up with that as best we can. Gloucester, we put up today. Richmond was up last week. And I know a couple of other ones that have been open. So just like restaurants across the state, golf clubs aren't much different. They're open for takeout, dining outside. And then on Monday, I'm assuming a handful of clubs at least will be open for indoor dining. But don't quote me on that. I haven't heard any official announcements, but I'm assuming clubs will be opening for indoor dining as well. So no different than any other restaurant. We just try to keep tabs on that. Rich, is King's Crossing, are they open for takeout or what? You want to give them a shout real quick?
Yeah. Good thing is that they never really shut down. Obviously, we can't sit at the bar or anything like that. Watch whatever sports are on if there are any. But no, the kitchen never closed. They always had cooks on to bring us food outside. He's got a nice fire pit out there. We got a bunch of tables set up. So yeah, nothing ever stopped at the King. We were all good.
Something I'm going to ask you guys. This is a serious subject here to me. Something near and dear to my heart. Part of the golf scene. Which of the clubs in Rhode Island really have the best burger? There's a contest in there to be held somehow.
Now you're killing me. Oh man,
because there is nothing better than a burger.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, not to name drop or anything, but Kirkbray's food's real good. They got good burgers and sandwiches. The King's got great burgers sandwiches too. I don't know who takes the title in that, to be honest with you. I really don't know.
We should do a competition later this summer. We'll put it all together. Once these restaurants get up and
Yeah,
running,
there we go.
we should. We mentioned that me and you have talked about this both on the air and off the air during our 1 a.m. Facebook chats. Now, I really would like to do something like that but let's let these clubs get up and
That would
running.
be awesome.
Let them kind of get going a little bit. So obviously right now everybody's kind of in flux, just like any other restaurant.
Right.
But I think we should do something like that. I think the food's great at a lot of places. I know Alpine is known for having good food. Kirkbray's food has improved drastically over the last several years. Yeah, and then and Wanamoisa's food is decent as well. But other courses are great too. I've had good meals at Triggs. I've had good meals at King's Crossing. I've had good meals at Lincoln Country Club. So they're all these courses have pretty decent food. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be making any money. And as we talked about, this goes back to the amenities, Pat. You don't have good food, you're not going to sell your wife or girlfriend on a date night. Food's crappy.
When it comes to golf course food, particularly daytime food, it can be roughly drawn into a couple of different categories. First of all, the all-important hamburger. That's critical. It's got to be substantial. It's got to be juicy. Got to be a lot of cheese, and it's got to pair well with a number of our native Rhode Island drafts, if you will. A grilled hot dog is also a very important, sophisticated addition, if you will, to the golfer's afternoon palate. And of course, for dinner time, it's all about the prime rib, right? Prime rib and or lobster. So, I think we can.
Lobster
I think that,
steak, yep.
Between the three of us, I think we could break down some categories. I'm just sensing that creative effort sits within us.
I want to do it. We're going to do it later this summer.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should.
I'll put something together and I'll hit you up.
We could do it. Listen, we could do live remotes too. We can do a little bit of a remote from let's just say the finalists. All right, who's that guy that goes around Providence or goes around New England eating pizza? On one of the other internet shows.
Oh, Dave Portnoy.
Yeah, the guy's a mad genius.
Oh, it's Portnoy from Barstool. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a mad genius when it comes to pizza. And it's also good that he also recognizes a Rhode Island staple, and of course that's yacht club beverages. So if you're if you're not of the beer variety like me, and you're more of a root beer fanatic, again, nothing better at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. For you guys who would get done on the course probably around 11, a guy like me who gets done around 1, it's always lunchtime when I get done.
Absolutely.
All right. So and as we're getting close to the end here, any other teasers? Anything else you want to bring to our attention for this week, or maybe tease us for next week?
Rich, do you have anything? If not, I have a couple of news. Tiger and Peyton Manning beat Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson in the match last Sunday. It was one of the first live sporting events to go off since the coronavirus, and it was quite interesting. Real quick,
Tom Brady split
real quick, I actually do have a couple of other quick news items that I just wanted to hit real quick. I'll just run them down. Just some of these one of these actually just happened. And again, I wasn't aware of the Brown golf story. I didn't see that one, but I'll have something up tomorrow. I'll research it. I'll make a couple calls and texts. Anyway, so real quick, the New England Golf Association, the NEGA, they announced within the last couple of hours that they were canceling the Junior Amateur Championship this year due to the coronavirus restrictions. The Junior Amateur was set to be held at Ledgemont, which is in Seekonk. And that was supposed to take place from August 11th. That was supposed to take place on August 11th. And August 12th, they take seven boys and 3 girls from every state in New England. They play a 54-hole golf tournament. And so that has been canceled. The NEGA canceled that. So that was one of the junior golf tournaments in New England, and Ledgemont's a real nice course. So that was unfortunate. And that was run by the Rhode Island Golf Association. There you go. And the other one on the professional side, not we do a whole lot of professional stuff, but a significant development today. The PGA Tour canceled the John Deere Classic. The John Deere Classic was supposed to be the 5th tournament back for the tour and the first one to potentially have fans. And so that tournament was canceled. Another quick note that could affect the PGA Tour, and I found it interesting. I didn't write about it. There wasn't a whole lot there to write. But the Texas governor, he said today that outdoor stadiums would be open to fans at 25% capacity for the upcoming sports season. So I'm trying to figure out how that would impact the PGA Tour's return, which is June 11th in Texas. So just again, those are just a couple quick notes. We don't have to hit on them or talk about them much, but just a few quick notes that I had that I want to make sure that we got into the show for people that need to be updated. The site is updated. We have tons more content coming tomorrow and some hopefully really exciting content coming over the weekend with golf tournaments kind of getting underway at most courses across state. Tournament seasons here. I know for me, tournament season starts on Saturday, so I've been trying to hit some balls and prep for that as well. I made a quick trip to Golfers Warehouse, which just opened. See my friend Bill Britt. So that's all I've got. Like I said, I just wanted to hit on a couple quick news things, and that's kind of where I got. You can find all the stuff on Golf News RI. The site is up to date. We posted 6 or 7 articles today. 3 or 4 or 5 yesterday, and the list goes on and on. So we have course reviews. We've been getting those in, so those are exciting. That's exciting. People are sending those in. I think hopefully now that people decide to play more, the summer is here, the warmer weather is here. Hopefully the course reviews come on a more consistent basis. And so we get a bunch of those in today. So check those out. And let's do that burger thing. We have more exciting things coming. And that's where we are. Golf News RI, baby.
All right, and a big announcement later on this week in terms of programming, but we'll save that out there for later consumption. Gentlemen, and as I like to say, 2 dudes playing golf, Joe Calabro and, of course, Rich Capalli is a straight man. Thanks a lot for joining us. This is a lot of fun and informative, too, even for the amateur duffer, as they would say, like myself. And if I can invoke the words of the immortal, one of the great philosophers really of the early 20th century, when he answered, I think, really prompted one of the great questions in golfing history, when Norton actually said to Ralph Cramden, address the ball. And, of course, in a moment of deep thought, Cramden responded, what, guys? Hello, ball. So,
Hello, ball.
Hello, ball. We'll get that clip for next week. I think that's old enough it might be out of copyright. But, guys, Golf News RI, a great source for fun and entertainment. Listen, if you're back at the office and you're stuck staring at the desk after a couple of months of relative freedom at the home hacienda, all right, pull up Golf News RI and you can dream a little bit every afternoon when you're having your sandwich and you're in your Corona-free, COVID-free office right before you hit the water cooler and the hand sanitizer again. So it's a great guilty privilege every day to read Golf News RI. Gentlemen, we are the Coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn-free, civilly disobedient media broadcasting live on the Worldwide Coalition Radio Network at coalitionradionetwork.com, facebook.com/the Coalition Radio, on the mighty, mighty Twitter at Coalition_radio, and the new home, if you will, of the Coalition Radio Network, not just the show, but the network, coalitionradionetwork.com. Folks, you have a lot of places you can spend a Thursday evening. You chose to spend it here tonight with us. This will be on replay throughout the week on the Facebook. You can also find this show on the YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and I don't know, other social media sites that I'm way too old to know about, but my kids tell me are great. We'll see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend. And get out there and hit some balls.
Thanks,
boys. Have a good weekend.